It's Liam Alexander Stewart with Inside the Ropes, and I'm back again with another fantastic interview for you today. You can see my guest across to my left. We're talking about a man with over 20 years of in-ring experience, a man that has held championship gold in Europe, North America, Asia, and a man that this Friday at Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds will look to add the prestigious Impact World Championship to his honours list as he looks to defeat the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. It's none other than Big Joe Doering. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. It's a pleasure. It's been one we've been looking forward to doing for a while. You're a guy with, I think, a very interesting career and one that's taken a different path to sort of what we see from a lot of Impact's talent. So super excited to sit down and chat with you. But I think it only makes sense to start talking about kind of this return to Impact over the last 18 months. And that time we've seen you hold the tag team titles twice with Violent by Design. You'd gone away. You were in All Japan for an extended period where you did some incredible things, two-time Triple Crown champion, four-time tag champion. What caused you to kind of decide to return to Impact Wrestling, and how have you found your sort of first 18 months or so kind of back full-time?
I think the timing just turned out to be right. It was time for me to try to grow outside of Japan, try to get into the American market and therefore the world market. And the timing was just right on that. And as far as my first year and a half in Impact, it's been great. Been learning a lot and good to hang out with some really good guys and cause a lot of destruction with Violent by Design. So it's been so far so good.
Violent by Design have indeed done that. We've seen over the last few months, we've seen EY and Diener have that chance at the title and you're up next. What can fans expect when you and Josh Alexander step in that ring on Friday, and how confident are you at getting the job done?
Well, I think it's definitely going to be a battle. He's a great wrestler and a great warrior, so he's going to feel my power and my wrath. So it's going to be a heck of a battle, and I'm very confident I can come out on top of that. I've already beat him once. So my strength, my power is going to prevail this Friday against all odds, against Josh, and I will be walking out the new heavyweight champion.
It's an exciting time to be an Impact fan. We mentioned your time in Japan and can expand it out. I want to ask you a little bit about that time in Japan, because fans who might not be aware of you and kind of your background might not be aware of just how successful you were in Japan. We mentioned, two-time Triple Crown champion, beating the New Era ace himself on 2 occasions to capture that strap. And then also going on to hold the tag titles with like Sanada, who fans will now be familiar with his work sort of in AEW in New Japan. And also with the genius of pro wrestling himself, the Great Muta. We heard recently that the Muta is hanging up the boots, he's calling it a day. And I just thought it was kind of the perfect time you were the right person to ask a little bit about your time with Muta and what he taught you and just how kind of much he was able to help you during that period in Japan.
Yeah, I owe him a lot. He gave me the chance of even going there in the first place. So he ended up liking me, and I got to learn under his wing, so to speak. And it was a great learning experience to soak all that up. And he's definitely the man. He's a legend there, and he's treated as such, and should be.
What for you is kind of the biggest difference between training and wrestling in Japan and training and wrestling in the US or over in Europe, which you've done as well?
When I first went to Japan in 2007, it was very difficult. I don't think training is that hard anymore, anywhere. Maybe it is. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, kids would be going to the hospital, like in the ambulance, and they would be passing out. And I don't think it's that intense anymore, but it should be. I think the business, wrestling business, one of the ways that's kind of gone wrong is they let too many people into the business that don't, that shouldn't be, and that aren't willing to pay the dues to do that like they used to.
No, definitely. I think it's something we can see, and something that I think Impact does really well is I think that Impact roster is so stacked, but with people that deserve to be there, with people like yourself that have had those journeys and, you know, gone on the path to get to where they are. We've seen a proper insurgence in Impact, which is someone who's been a lifelong fan since the days of, you know, TNA on Challenge TV here in the UK, all the way up until now. We've seen a sort of resurgence again under Scott D'Amore. You have a bit more history with D'Amore than some of the other guys on the roster. You guys have even shared the ring on a few occasions. 2005, you took on him and Sean Waltman at a tag team match, and you guys have teamed as well. What's it like being back working with Scott after sort of your time away, and kind of is he really as kind of nice and genuine as everyone seems to say is? Because it seems in the world of CEOs going crazy in wrestling that Scott seems to be the guy that everyone in the company just universally loves and just cares about wrestling.
Yeah, I think Scott is well liked. We have a little different relationship because he is my coach. First off, he's my friend and he's also my boss. So I have a kind of a strange dynamic, you know, cocktail there. But you know, he's respected. He's got a great mind, and you know, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about him. He let me live in his house for a long time, and we our roots run deep.
Yeah, we mentioned, or I mentioned there, your previous stint in sort of in TNA back in the day, and the sort of the time gap between now and then. What to you is kind of the biggest difference in your life and in yourself as a wrestler, but also in TNA and Impact? What's kind of been the biggest change you've noticed between those two spells?
The biggest change, well, when I first went there, I mean, yeah, it was still a very, so to speak, mom and pop, so to speak, still very small. So just trying to get the wheels moving, so to speak. And now it's, you know, become this big international thing, and you know, it's still growing, and happy to be here and hopefully help it grow.
Definitely. I think you're one of the guys that the Impact audience, the Impact ultras are kind of rallying around as kind of that new driving force. Yourself, Alexander, the rest of Violent by Design, of course, are kind of this new face of the company. It's great to see. I'd be remiss if I didn't sit down and talk to you about your career today and didn't talk about, obviously, the unfortunate news that broke in 2016 that you have been diagnosed with brain cancer. And luckily, you know, we're having this conversation, and since then you've recovered, and you know, to call it the toughest battle of your career is an understatement. But I want to kind of delicately ask how that's influenced kind of your outlook on life and wrestling, and if there was ever a moment where you thought that you were going to call it a day, or did it do the opposite, where it just kind of made you invigorated to go back and, you know, make sure that Joe Doering was the name on top?
Yeah, where do I start? So when I'll just go with it. When doctor told me, I don't know. I instantly was positive. I wasn't negative at all. I said, I'm gonna kick this thing's ass. It's gonna be done. I'm gonna kick its ass, and I'm gonna be back into wrestling as soon as I can be. And luckily enough, I was. So I was always very positive, even from the first second. I was just positive, and yes, it was the toughest battle of my life, and you know, I'm so happy to be here, obviously, and so lucky. And I mean, they opened me up, man. So for me to be even talking to you here is actually pretty crazy.
No, definitely. And I think obviously we are all delighted. It sounds a silly thing to say that we're all delighted that you're here, but you know, you've got a really valiant and sort of proud fan base on social media that kind of gathering around you. And you know, Josh is the guy at the moment, but I'm seeing a lot of support for you, and a lot of people confident that you're going to take home that title this Friday against all odds. Before I let you go, Impact, in my opinion, and anyone who follows me on socials, which are all plugged down below as always, cheap plug, knows that TNA Impact is, in my opinion, the greatest wrestling company that has existed. It is responsible for my fandom in wrestling. It's the reason I'm here today doing what I do. And we've seen a lineage, the likes of Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, this new breed coming through with the likes of Alexander, and everyone involved. We mentioned that positive sort of atmosphere from Gail Kim in the Knockouts division to Scott D'Amore. It seems like Impact's a family. I wanted to kind of ask from a guy that's been in Japan, a guy that's been overseas in Europe and everywhere in North America, what makes Impact special? And what would you say to the people that are maybe sleeping on Impact and not giving it the opportunity and the sort of praise that it deserves for putting on such a high product throughout the pandemic? Throughout the pandemic, it was without a doubt the best sort of ongoing product. What would you say to maybe the doubters of Impact Wrestling?
I think the proof is in the pudding, as we say over here. Just if you watch it, you're going to like it. If you're a wrestling fan, you're going to like it. Our roster's awesome, and period. Yeah, I mean, check us out. Give us a chance. I know there's a lot of wrestling to watch every week, so I get it. But if you give us a chance, I think you're going to like it.
Perfect. Well, you heard it there, guys. I've just noticed that my dog has been in the corner this whole time, so I hope everyone watching is also enjoying.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was your dog or if that was your cat. Hey, come here.
Yeah, we've got two dogs, but this one needs a little bit more attention, so it likes to stay in the room when I do the interviews. Oh, is it a little Chihuahua? Is it?
Yeah, he's actually a toy rat terrier.
Oh, we've got my other dog that's in the other room. Mia is a Chihuahua Jack Russell cross, and it's all the best parts of the Chihuahua and all the best parts of the Jack Russell. I'm going to throw it over to you. I know you're not super active on social media, but if there's anything you want to plug, any sort of merch, or even if it's just against all odds, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hey guys, you can follow me at official Joe Doering on Instagram.
Perfect. There you go, guys. And make sure you check out Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds this Friday. It's going to be a cracking show top to bottom. We'll have coverage of it over on itrwrestling.com. Super grateful for Joe for his time and Impact for setting this up again. We've done some great interviews with him recently. So down at the bottom, there'll be a little card to go back and check out the last one with Mia Yim, and keep an eye out for what's to come next. I've been Liam Alexander Stewart. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.